So we're gonna go in again. He's gonna hold the door, and you're gonna get to go down this spiral staircase.
Careful. Don't want you tripping.
Here we go. When have you seen this before, folks? I never have. How elegant. And you still have the tread on the stairs. Boy, does this take me back. This is amazing. So we're coming down here, and this is actually the lower level, right?
The original showroom.
This is the original showroom. This is where they would put the cars that weren't the high dollar cars. They probably put the regular cars.
This is all the new stuff.
This is the new stuff, but that was the higher end stuff on the main floor, right? Because it had the window.
Yeah.
Would you say? Okay, now this is a car for sale here on consignment?
Yeah, these are all for sale.
Okay, so what are we looking at here?
That's a 57 Thunderbird.
Got a 57 Thunderbird, and for you Pontiac guys,
Yeah.
what do we got here?
That's a Grand Prix there.
What year's the Grand Prix?
This is, this one is 70. It's actually 70, or 65.
67?
65.
65 Pontiac Grand Prix. And then we're coming back here. Looks like we've got a Corvair
Got a Corvair.
convertible. Is that an automatic or a 4-speed car?
It's automatic.
Okay. And then is this consignment here too?
Yep.
What are we looking at here?
41 Packard.
We got a 41 Packard, Louis Mandich.
Yeah.
Louis Mandich, I'm calling you out at Last Chance Garage. Got a Packard here. And we've got another Thunderbird here.
64.
64 Thunderbird. And now going over here, we got a GTO.
Yep.
What year's this?
The GTO, that's actually the 67.
67 GTO.
57 Chevy 4-door.
Got a 57 four-door Chevy. Another Thunderbird.
And a little Dodge convertible.
This has been customized.
It's got the slant 6.
Got a slant 6 engine in it. But it's been modified. Now what are we looking at right here in front of us?
That's a 2002 Thunderbird.
A 2002 Thunderbird. Is that for sale?
Yep.
Okay. And what year Thunderbird is this?
That's 57 also.
57.
And here we have the model. This was actually the architects. The architect built this before they built the building.
So this is the architect's rendition of what this was supposed to look like.
That's what it did look like.
Oh, okay. So, but they did this back before they built the buildings.
Right, so they knew what they were going to build.
So this is 2.5 acres back then.
Yep.
So this was
Still is.
Mueller
Harkins.
Harkins Buick. And that's what this place looked like back in the day. So you had vehicles parked on the roof too.
There's Mr. Mueller.
And here's the history of the family. This goes back to the 40s, right?
Yep.
So all this is here, and I'm sure if you came down, you know, you were interested in the history of Tacoma, I'm sure he'd show you this down here. But here's the diorama. This is the building that we're actually in right now.
Yep.
Wow.
And we're on this floor right down here.
We're on the floor right down
Below
here.
the showroom.
And I'll tell you, that was a really tight fit to get in there.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that we have reception.
And then here,
Yeah.
this is where they came in off of 6th Avenue, and then that's where the cars came through, right back there to this lower showroom.
Are these cars for sale?
What, these?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Wow. Imagine somebody built this.
Yeah.
How beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? And the fact that it survived.
Mueller Harkins started in 1916 they were down on Broadway down there, and then this is sort of
So they actually started out in 1916, folks.
Yeah.
Mueller Harkins in Tacoma.
And they were the distributorship for Buicks.
Back in 1916. So they were.
That's the reason this building is as big as it is.
Now, when did they vacate this building?
In about 62.
62.
Yeah.
So this had a good 25 years, maybe?
The building itself, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I
And
said,
you had acquired it in 95.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, like I say, originally it was a distributorship. And so that went on until the early 50s.
Right.
And then the powers that be decided that was an unfair labor practice. So they had to ship directly from Detroit to the dealer.
See, now for folks that don't know, because I ran into this when I did research, when you ordered a vehicle back in the day, like you're talking about, you had to order from the distributor,
Right.
and the distributor would go ahead and order from the factory. And if you wanted anything done that the factory wasn't willing to do, you had to pay the distributor to do
Right,
it.
right.
And that's where the distributor made their money. They had a profit on the car, but they also had a profit on any options.
Right, right.
And those are still factory options per se, but the distributor was getting a big slice of the pie.
Right, just like the Continental kit on the Cadillac. That was a dealer option.
Right, so you couldn't put that on your at the dealership. You had to have the distributor do it. When did that practice change, would you say?
In the early 50s.
Okay,
And then this became, then after that, it was still a Buick dealer, but they were no longer the distributor.
now we've got a big Lincoln here. Is this for sale?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a 77.
77 Lincoln.
Mark. Yeah. Continental.
And what do we got down here all by its lonesome self?
Oh, that's another little Mercedes.
Another little Mercedes down here, all by its lonesome self. You know, I actually had this. I had the same piece of artwork. Now, this is the lowest level, right?
No, there's another level below this.
Oh, okay, so we're going to end it here. We're going to go to a lower level than this.
Yeah, that's actually all.
Okay, we're going to meet the owner here of this place. He's been here since 95, right?
Yep.
Okay, and your name, kind sir?
Walter Sharp.
Walter Sharp. And I'll tell you what, I told Walter, this is a 21st century Harold LeMay. And if you don't know what that is, look it up, folks, because this guy is the closest you're going to get today that's somebody you can talk to and real friendly.
Give you a little history of the building.
Now, what's with the shoes?
Oh, well. And my son was importing those and selling them and stuff. But,
So that was what your son was doing.
yeah.
So there's shoes here for sale. Now, are these like
Reproduction.
air whatever?
Yeah.
Well, heck, he's an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And you got shirts over here, I noticed, on a rack.
Yep.
Okay, now is that his stuff too, the shirts on the rack?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to get the tour, and I'm going to walk down here because this showroom, God, this is absolutely fantastic. And you can see, you're walking in here with me for the very first time. So you can see a circular staircase descending. This is 3 levels. I'm just going to roll the video. Here we have an amphibia car, or an amphibi car. We have a coach. Look at that ceiling in the dealership. This looks like a Volkswagen, but I know it's not. What are we looking at?
Morris Minor.
There's a Morris Minor, and then next to that we have
41 Chevy Coupe.
41 Chevy Coupe.
Yeah, 48 Ford. Top, totally restored or custom pickup.
Now these are all consignment vehicles, right? Okay, everything, folks, you see here, unless he mentions, is for sale. And what's the number, the best way for them to get a hold of you here in downtown Tacoma?
It's 253
253
627
627
1052.
1052. Now, we got the disco ball going up in the ceiling. We got the remnants of the fluorescent bulb, and you can tell all that cracked ice, all those lenses, this thing was lit. And then you can't really tell, but there was neon, which is absolutely fantastic. That goes all, I've never been in a place like this. And this was built in the 40s?
1948.
48, so after the war. And these were the salesman offices up here, probably.
Yep.
So they dragged you up here to beat the hell out of you to get a deal.
Yeah.
So that was above. Okay.
And this was the actual sales office here where you would talk to people and things.
There's a sales office, and then they'd send you upstairs probably to the finance department
Yeah, the closer.
for the closer.
Okay, it's taking a charge.
Oh, yeah?
I turned it over.
Oh, good. Okay.
So a day on that.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to stop here. We're going to go to the next